Hi, this is Yvonne Pran, and I want to show you how to create a website sidebar ad or graphic with Snappa. We do have a mini review of Snappa that is sort of also an overview of how to basically use it. But in this video, I'll show you how I create all of the images that are in the sidebars of my website. Very quickly before I get into the content, remember that Effective Church Communications does not take any outside advertising. We, of course, advertise our own classes and materials and resources, but we don't take any outside advertising, and we also do not participate in any affiliate programs where we're paid to recommend different things. Everything that we recommend to you, everything that I demonstrate, it is completely because I feel that it is something that's useful to you, and most of the time it's something that I use very frequently myself. And that's the case with Snappa. I really like it, and I wanted to share it with you. So let's go to Snappa, and I'll show you how I create the little sidebar images for my website. Okay, here we are at snappa.com. Now for these, I want to create one that's a custom size. So I'm going to enter in 300. I create a lot of these, so it's actually already in there. And then the height is going to be 100. So I'm going to hit create. And now this nice little white box comes up. The first thing that we want to do is to select a background. So when you click on background, all of these images come up. Now I want to do something on church and ministry business cards, so I'm going to enter in that search term, hit the little search button, and all kinds of images come up. Now I've used this one before on advertising the class that we have on church business and ministry invitation cards. And here's our image. I like how they centered it and all of that. Now I need to add some text. So I'm going to add some text, and I'm just going to go ahead and click this add a subheading. Now when the text comes up, you really want to grab the little handles wherever they are and make sure that they're in your picture, because if they're not, you'll be looking for them all over the place. Now, as you can see, there's two problems already with our text. For one thing, with the color, it will show up on some parts, not on others. What do we do about that? Well, before I show you what to do about it, I'm going to first put in the amount of text that I want, and then we'll deal with the contrast in the background. And what I want to say is church, business, and ministry invitation cards. And I probably spelled something wrong because I couldn't see it. But anyway, I'm going to click on, actually you can do Control A and you highlight all of it. And then you go over here to the size box and you can just hold that down. I know I misspelled ministry. Until it gets to be about the size that you want it to be. And I think that's going to be about right. I'm going to correct the spelling on ministry, and I think I want it, again, I'm going to do select all. I want it flush right. Now that's fine, but you can't see it. So what do we do? Well, I'll show you in just a minute, but I'm going to create some subtext next, and then I'm going to put some boxes behind it. The reason I'm doing the text first is after using Snappa a long time, I realized that if you try to put the boxes and then the text on top, and then you try to move things around, it's just a mess. It's a disaster. It's really hard to pick which one you're actually clicking on. So go ahead and get your text written and out of the way, and then you can add your other materials. So I'm going to add another text box, and for this one I'm going to just say body text. Okay, now I've got my two blocks of text, and you can't really see either one of them. So what I'm going to do, I know I'm going to be putting it against a background. So on this one, let's just go ahead and make the text white so we can see, we can already see it actually better there. And let's go ahead and make this one white also, like so. Okay, we've got where we probably want them, but as I said earlier, I can't really see them. So what I need to do now is go over to the shapes here on Snappa, pick the rectangle, and then you can make it cover what you want it to cover. And again, you just have to find the handles and move it to where you want to move it. Make it a little bit bigger, and then go up here, and these are the layers. I want to move it back one layer, and now we can see our print. That's great. Okay, now we can leave it like that, which is just fine, or if we don't want it to be quite so strong in color, go down here to see where it says shape opacity. Now just go down a little bit. And I think that looks great. You can actually see it really clearly, but it's not too harsh. It doesn't block out the image a whole lot. Now we need to do something like that. I mean, you could leave it like that, but it's hard to read. So let's do the same thing with this text here. And here our little box comes up. It can sometimes be a real pain in the neck to get that sized, but we eventually get it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that right up to the edge there and right on the edge of the other box. But instead of having it be that gray color, let's make it a contrasting color just to kind of a little bit more interesting. And on this one, okay, that's just fine. I'm going to again take the opacity down just a little bit, not a whole lot, and I'm going to move it back one layer. So, okay, yeah, I kind of like that. Let's move that. Nope, not the text. And after fiddling with it a little bit more, cutting down the box and just doing a few things to it, I do like it now. I think it will work quite well for the website. And so now what I'm going to do is you go over here to, you can actually give it a title at any time. I'm going to say business card sidebar, and I'm going to save it. And then I am going to download it, and in just a few minutes I will put it up on the website. I hope that helped you see how you can very quickly create a sidebar graphic with Snappa. For more training and resources for church communication creators and managers, go to our Church Communications Training School at www.churchcomtraining.com. And may the Lord give you joy today as you serve Him in church communications.